Good evening, students. Today we need to start Unit 1 with you. In the last class, I just finished Unit 19. Please, Govindaraj, please mute yourself. Thank you. Till now, if you have any query, we will discuss. If you have any query in Block 1, Block 2, Block 3, or Block 4, as well as Block 5,
No, ma'am.
okay, it's all clear to everyone. All the theories, all the studies, it's clear. Operational theory, social theory. I don't know why students are coming and again they have just left the class. Social concept or Bandura's theories as well as operant conditioning theory and classical conditioning theory, Piaget and Vygotsky theory. It's all clear to everyone because we only two concepts are left: social development and language development. Both concepts are very important. What is the meaning of self concept? Anyone who just go through the course content and who know about that? What is that self concept? क्या है सेल्फ कंसेप्ट? अपने बारे में जानना है, अपने बारे में. Who am I? This kind of thoughts comes in infant or not? ऐसी कॉन्सेप्ट्स बच्चों के दिमाग में आते हैं, कभी ऐसा सोचा है? किसी के घर में छोटे बच्चे नहीं है, प्री स्कूल वाले और मे बी 2.5 year चिल्ड्रन. किसी का एक्सपीरियंस नहीं है छोटे बच्चों के साथ? Because in this period, maximum children are putting these kind of questions. How I come out from your बच्चे हमेशा पूछते हैं मम्मी मैं कहाँ से आया. और मैं बॉय हूँ कि गर्ल हूँ, बॉय हूँ तो क्यों हूँ बॉय, गर्ल हूँ तो क्यों हूँ गर्ल. What is the difference between boys and girls? These kind of questions are such kids just asking casually. They ask, or in this period they just want to know about themselves. Self-concept, it includes the understanding of whether one is a boy or a girl and that one's gender is constant over time. It also includes one conception about how males and females are supposed to behave, how they understand. Yeah, I'm a girl because girls are pretending their self according to the mothers, or girls imitating her mother, or boys are imitating her father. his father's, right? The parents' influences are play very important role to know about their self. Next concept is another important aspect of self-concept is self-esteem. This is that part of the self-concept in which we judge ourselves according to the standard we have set for ourselves. It is one's evaluation of oneself. Self-esteem is concerned with questions such as, am I as good as I can be? And am I the sort of person I want to be? People who have a high positive self esteem see themselves as meeting their own standards and they are satisfied with themselves. Those with low esteem see a discrepancy between what they think they should be and what they are. They may not be satisfied with themselves. Self-esteem also includes an evaluation of oneself in comparison with others. One's self-concept is very significant aspect of one's personality. It has been seen that a person's self-concept influences her behavior. This is so because the person sees her qualities as enduring and thus chooses experiences that are consistent with her beliefs about herself. Example, the child who believes that she just cannot learn to skip will behave differently from one who believes she can. She is likely to avoid skipping and may not play with other children who do so. If forced to skip, she may make remarks like, you know, I cannot skip. She may play in a manner that strengthens her belief that she can not skip, such as not watching the rope as a jump. It's so that she falls. The child does not want to even try to learn to skip because there is a risk of failure. Developing the concept of self or self concept is to develop a sense that one is separated from other. In the early month of life, the infant does not distinguish between herself and others. When exactly does she understand that she is physically separate from others? The eighth or ninth month, the infant seems to understand that she can make things happen. This means that by this time, she sees herself as someone who can have an effect on things. But at this time, she does not see herself as a person. She does not seem to have a sense of self. This happened around 15 to 18 months of age. One of the signs that the child has understand her own separateness is that she recognizes herself in the mirror. The following research study involved the use of the mirror will explain. A mirror is placed in front of the 9-month-old infant. The baby looks at her image in the mirror, makes faces, and tries to interact with the image in the mirror in some way. Then the researchers, while pretending to wipe the baby's face, put a spot of red color on her nose. The test of self recognition is that the infant reached for the spot of color on her own nose and not on her reflection in the mirror. None of the 1 year old reached for their nose between 15 and 18 months. One fourth of the infant in the study did so. And between 21 and 24 months, three-fourths of the infant did so. Because in that mirror, they are not able to recognize that I am a person who is just reflecting in the mirror, right? That concept is clear on the age of around 1.5 year old child, or maybe 2 year old child. Is this my screen is visible to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
This self-concept during early childhood age and self-concept during middle childhood age. The toddler language also gives indication of her developing awareness of herself. She begins to use pronouns like I, you, and mine, which shows that they are distinguishing between themselves and other people. Sentence like my toy, I do it, I play it, no, 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 eat my chair. Like at the age of 3 year old child who is easily identified that I'm a girl, I'm a boy, and these things are belongs to me, right? At this age. The toddler's ability to the fact that she is conscious aware of her experiences. The fact that she is conscious aware of her experiences, that she seems to understand how another person is feeling means that is and recall her own earlier experience and use these to judge that person's feeling. The concept of gender during preschool and middlehood years. As you know, the self concept also includes one concept of gender. The concept of gender develops during the preschool years, like gender identity. They will also be able to tell you whether they themselves are boy or girl. This means that they have acquired gender identity, but this does not mean that they have a complete understanding of the concept of gender. One of the things they may not know is that gender remains constant over time. They may believe that they, as well as others, can change their gender by wearing the clothes and doing activities of the opposite sex. Right? Gender constancy. Developing the concept of gender is the realization at one stage the same gender, this is called gender constancy, and is achieved around 4 or 5 years of age. Preschoolers realize that they stay the same gender before they realize that this is true for others as well. Sex role behavior. Another aspect of concept of gender is acquiring sex role behavior. This means understanding what is appropriate female and male behavior. In our society, the notions about these are fairly rigid and strong. Rigid ideas about what is masculine and what is feminine behavior are called sex role as well as sex role stereotypes. We think of man as competent, skillful, assertive, aggressive, ambitious, strong, and able to get things done. We think of a woman as warm, expressive, more aware of other people's feelings, caring, quiet, gentle, dependent, and submissive. An alternative to sex role stereotyping. It would be good if we were not rigid about correct male and female behavior, but rather understood that masculine and feminine qualities are both necessary for every person and inculcate such an understanding in children. A woman may be interested in repairing cars and want to be assertive, traditionally defined as masculine traits in our society. Nowadays, it's very common. Every woman can ride a bike, ride a car, even a fighter jet also. So nowadays, it's totally dependent scenario, different scenario, right? A boy who can gentle and kind, traditionally seen as feminine qualities. Exactly nowadays, both parents are working, so definitely father or male person is helping in household task, right? So this is the change scenario nowadays, extending social relationships, relationship with siblings. Most families in our society, in our country, have more than one child. Interacting with siblings is as much a part of the child's life as interacting with parents. As such, it's my just personal experience. It's totally dependent on the parents as well as from the family. Okay, how the two siblings having a good relationship, how they make a good relationship. I to given you one example of that now. When the newborn baby comes and 6 year old child just get bedwetting. So it's totally depend on the parents how they handle the two children, right? As well as nowadays, in most of the families, or maybe in urban areas, woman, girl child or boy child, it's not the matter, right? Maximum working parents have only one child, or maybe it's a girl or it's a boy. They give all the opportunities to their child. In fact, in many families where the older child look after the younger ones, when the parents go out to work, more time is spent with siblings than with parents. Siblings are significant agents of socialization. There is one marked difference in the child's relationship with siblings as compared to her relationship with parents. Siblings are nearer in age to each other, and the relationship between them is more equal, friendly, and democratic than with parents. However flexible and child centered parents may be, they are still perceived as authority figure by the child. Uh, as such, my son is 14-year-old, 13 plus year old, and my daughter is 6 year old. They have the same. My son is taking the responsibility like a he's a elder, not an elder brother. He's like a father figure to him, father figure to her, right? So he just take caring of their daughter, uh, uh, their sister, like a daughter, right? It's the common things in the maximum families. Sibling provides the child emotionally security in stressful and confusing situations. They are source of support and advice. They can be confided. There are many childhood secrets that only siblings can share. Older siblings set standard of behavior. We always casually parents are saying ना देखो भाई कैसे कर रहा है और देखो दीदी कैसे कर रही है. It's very common. तो younger child भी सेम अपने elder brother और sister को कॉपी करने की कोशिश करता है, उसके सेम स्टैंडर्ड को मीट करने की कोशिश करता है. What is the relationship with peers? Friendship is very important when the child learns the socialization, right? Friends and age mates are an important part of one's life and have a great influence on one's personality. Many of us having lasting friendship with the peers we came to know in childhood. Play is a strong motivation to make friends. Playing with others begins after 2 years of age. The toddler being begin interacting with each other. They will touch each other, smile, sequel, utter sounds, and play with each other's clothes or feet. If one of them has a toy, their interaction may continue for a longer period. They may play with the toy, taking turn with it. These early friendships are not stable and may not carry over even to the next day, unlike the friendship of a later period. During the preschool years, interaction between children increase and become more positive. Older preschool older preschooler play with each other, cooperating and taking turns. They begin to make friends. What is that? Autonomy, developing autonomy, shame and doubts. Shame and doubt is a common term. Maybe one of you know about that. When the toddler is allowed to explore freely, she develops self-confidence. Such exploration give her a sense of self-worth and of being in control. She develops autonomy. Autonomy means being able to make one's own choice to do something or to refrain from doing it. To choose a particular activity to go where one wants. Developing autonomy is important as it determines the extent to which one feels that the situation in life, the events that happen to one are under one's influence or control. Next is shame and doubt. When the toddler appears before an adult with her frock worn the wrong way, and the adult say angrily, "Now look, what have you done?" It can be dishearten the child. She has worn the frock by herself for the first time. She is thrilled about it and want to be appreciated. Ridiculing her will discourage her. Right? Whenever the child want to do some activities herself, child feel parents give the motivation, or in the same way parents give negative response to them, so they feel child feel negative about herself, right? They feel shame and doubt. Yeah, no, I'm not able to do this. This kind of feeling happens. Being able to manage simple tasks allow the toddler a degree of independence from the parents. The child striving for independence change the parent-child relationship to a certain extent. The family member must understand the toddler's need to do things on her own instead of being irked by it. The refusal of toddler to allow follow the parent's instruction is not a revolt against them. She is simply trying to know what she can do and trying to perfect her skills. Right? Developing initiative, right? The same example, no, I can do this. I want to do this. With the free movement, I can complete my task without any help. This is called developing initiative. Next is socialization in the family. A child can grow up to be either generous or selfish, achievement oriented, or lacking initiative, assertive or submissive, outspoken or shy, helpful or selfish. Yet, by the large, children adopt only those personality characteristic and behavior that are considered acceptable by their family and their social group. This process by which the child acquires socially acceptable traits and values is called socialization. What we have spoken about in the text so far are all aspects of socialization. As the parents control the toddler's activity, as they curb her aggressive response, and as they encourage her helpful behavior and praise her effort, they are teaching the child desirable social behavior. Parents are primary agent of socialization. As the child grows, she come in contact with more people who also influence her beliefs and values. Relatives, siblings, neighbors, and friends are responsible for the development of the child's personality. Way of discipline. Parents always try to discipline their child. Use of power assertion or use of withdrawal of love or attention or approval. What is that? Sometimes we threaten our child, sometimes we just taking the some responsibilities or some give the positive response. No, you can do this. The affection oriented way of discipline is more effective in socialization the child, socialize the child. The parents do not give any explanation to the child as to why the child's action was bad or wrong. In this, the child accepts the parents' rules as her own and they become a part of her. The child feels guilty and shame when she does something undesirable. Such discipline style foster an attitude of being responsible for one's action. Right? In this kind of parenting or this kind of discipline attitude, uh, child feels no, जो भी होता है मेरी वजह से ही होता है. I cannot do good things. I just doing the bad things. We need to explain them. No, if you are doing this, this is the only part you done wrong. राइट मे बी चाइल्ड जो भी बच्चे ने किया वो अच्छी फीलिंग से किया पर वो उसका रिजल्ट अच्छा नहीं हुआ राइट तो यू शुड टेल द चाइल्ड कि जो आप चाह रहे थे वो दैट पार्ट इज गुड बट द वे यू आर डूइंग योर एक्टिविटी दिस इज द बैड थिंग राइट सो यू नीड टू टेल एग्जैक्टली द प्रॉब्लम नॉट पूरा आपने उसकी कोशिश नहीं देखी आपने सिर्फ बोले कि नहीं यू कैन नॉट डू दिस यू डन द बैड थिंग you need to tell them. Use of induction. Explain to the child the effect her action has on others. They help the child to notice the feeling. Right? सपोज कोई एक्टिविटी बच्चा कर रहा है उसमें बच्चे ने बिना सोचे समझे कुछ भी काम कर दिया अगर जैसे आज होली फेस्टिवल्स था बच्चे खेल रहे थे जस्ट पास द बैलून्स टू जस्ट थ्रो द बैलून्स विदाउट अंडरस्टैंडिंग कि किसी के चोट लग सकती है तो यू शुड टेल देम कि नहीं आज आपको ऐसे बैलून छोटे बच्चों पे नहीं मारना है या ऐसे कलर्स नहीं डालना उसके बैड इम्पैक्ट्स क्या हो सकते हैं दूसरों को उससे क्या पेन हो सकता है वो एक्सप्लेन करना बहुत जरूरी है राइट कि दूसरों को आपने मारा या दूसरों को आपने ऐसे बैलून थ्रो किया तो उनको चोट लग सकती है वो एक्सप्लेन करना ठीक है इग्नोर ignoring inappropriate behavior. Sometimes parents don't have time to judge the things with the children's, right? Or neglecting parenting, we can say that. Those parents don't have a time or they just give the money to the children, but they don't have time for them. What is that punishment? We discussed about that parenting punishment. Sorry, we discussed about punishment. We can give punishment should be like that. Not always the physical punishment. Punishment it can be any time. You can tell them no. I will not talk to you. I will not give you this favorite food to you. I will not celebrate your birthday. I will not celebrate a party with you. Right? Punishment must be used cautiously. One of the negative effects about which you have read in the preceding sections that the child fails to internalize the rules. Excessive punishment may give the child a feeling that she never does anything right, which is likely to lower her self-esteem. The child usually become less complaint with adults and peers. When punishment is used often, it leaves the child feeling resentful and angry with the parents. She may begin to avoid the parent. Severe punishment may generate so much anxiety in the child that she does not learn the intent lesson. Parents who regularly use Physical punishment serve as model of aggression. Watching adults use aggression to control situation, the child too begins to behave aggressively. Few principles are there. Punishment or prohibition will have their greater impact if the adult give the reason for the punishment. The first is the timing of the punishment is important. Punishment is most effective when it immediately follow the misbehavior. The best time to stop an act is when it is just about to occur, as it is beginning. When the child snatches the toy for the first time, that is when the parents must step in rather than waiting for the fifth time. When the child does it, राइट, आपने पहले तो उसे कभी टोका नहीं, पर वही सेम वो मिस्टेक वो फिफ्थ टाइम या सिक्स टाइम कर रहा है सबके सामने, मतलब किसी आउटसाइडर्स के सामने, तब आप उसको कंट्रोल करने की कोशिश करें। पर वही सेम एक्टिविटी उसने घर में आपके साथ, आपकी फैमिली में कोई और बच्चा आया है खेलने, उसके साथ किया, तब आपने उसे रोका नहीं। सेकेंड टाइम आपने उसे रोका नहीं, पर आप फिफ्थ टाइम उसे रोकोगे तो उसको फील ही नहीं होगा कि अभी तक तो मुझे कभी कहा नहीं, कभी रोका नहीं, और आज अचानक से क्यों रोक रहे हैं, राइट। तो इसलिए फर्स्ट टाइम जब बच्चा कोई ऐसी एक्टिविटी करे, मिसबिहेव करे, तो आपको उसी टाइम पे उसको रोकना चाहिए। An important aspect that determines how the child reacts to punishment by the parents is the emotional relationship they share. Punishment from nurturing and affectionate parents is more likely to be effective than punishment from a cold and withdrawn or hostile parents. This is because when an affectionate parents punish the child loses the parents' affection temporarily, which hurts her. So she stopped the undesirable behavior in order to regain the parents' affection. राइट, जो पेरेंट्स हमेशा बच्चे को प्यार से और चीजें समझा के करते हैं, अगर मैंने आपको शायद एग्जांपल भी दिया, अगर आपने उस सिचुएशन में बच्चे को सिर्फ किस करने के लिए मना कर दिया, हक करने के लिए मना कर दिया, तो बच्चे को वो भी फील होता है, राइट, कि मैं नहीं आगे से ऐसे नहीं करूंगी, ऐसे नहीं करूंगा कि आपको बुरा लगे, नहीं आप मुझे प्यार कर दो, राइट। Fair and mild punishment, we just discussed this. Style of parenting: authoritative parenting, affectionate, firm, but flexible parenting style. These parents are warm, loving, and supportive of the child's effort and accomplishment. They often praise the child, they show enthusiasm in the child's activity, respond sensitively to her feelings, and show empathy and compassion. They usually put the child's need over their own. They understand their child's personality, characteristics, and points of view. Such parents are firm in discipline. They lay down simple rules and make it clear to the child that these have to be obeyed and what may be the consequences of disobeying. At the same time, they explain the reason for the rules. In other words, they limit the child's behavior, but within these limits, they encourage independence. Right. I'll just give you the one example for this. Suppose you आप अपने बच्चे को मार्केट लेके गए हो, राइट, but on the toy shop child wants many toys, but you can control that, no, I'll give you that much amount of money and you need to spend, maybe you will buy in this money three toys or four toys or one toy, it's totally up to you. Or maybe select few toys and give the importance to them. This toys is help you in this toy help you in this. Please select once, right? Please select one in this toys. So you just give the freedom to them. So this kind of authority, you just control the number of three toys, but as well as you give the freedom, select once within three, right? Authoritarian parenting, like hostile, rigid and inflexible parenting style. नहीं, जो मैंने खरीद दिया है, जो ये टॉय है, यही लेना है और कुछ नहीं मिलेगा. This kind of parenting. No, अभी करना है मतलब. Those parents have this kind of attitude. No, I told you, you have to finish your household task or you need to finish your homework right now, means right now. This kind of attitude. When the parents not give the freedom to them. Permissive parenting, affectionate but lenient parenting style. Sometimes differentiation comes on that permissive parenting and authoritative parenting. Permissive parenting, these parents are lax in discipline. They give children all the freedom to do so as they want. There are almost no rules for children, and the parents do not expect much from them. In fact, children tend to make their own rules. Parents rarely demand that the child behave in mature manner. Children in these families have the freedom to do as they want. Freedom to do as they want and have few responsibilities. Parents express their warmth and love to the children liberally. Next is uninvolved parenting or neglect in parenting. There are parents who neglect their children. They are not interested in their children and do not bother about them. They do not show much warmth and love. They do not control the child's behavior or expect mature behavior. This sort of parenting is associated with the most negative influence on children's personality. Children of such parents show disturbance in their relationship with peers, both in childhood and adulthood. They lack social skills of relating to others and do not display leadership skills. In fact, they may show antisocial behavior in adolescence and adulthood. They are also not highly motivated to achieve and do not try hard for success. Cultural context of parenting, like Western culture, like in our Indian society, we just want to control our children even in the after the adolescence age, adulthood age, till the adulthood age. But in the Western culture, they just leave their child, they just do in younger age, children's doing their self household task as well as they are just mature in early age because they are doing their activities themselves. Impact of family structure on child rearing. Nuclear family, a household where the parents live with one or more of their children. In that situation, parents are give more attention because प्यार करने के लिए भी पेरेंट्स हैं और गुस्सा करने के लिए भी पेरेंट्स हैं, सारी एक्टिविटीज कराने के लिए भी पेरेंट्स हैं. So in that situation, parents are more influenced. तो उस सिचुएशन में कई बार मदर्स जो है बहुत ओवर प्रोटेक्टिव हो जाती हैं या ओवर कंसर्न रहती हैं. Extended family, a family in which parents and their children live along with grandparents, dependents, elder cousin, and other relatives. Single parents family. A family headed by one adult, either mother or father. Such a family structure may arise due to death of one parent, divorce or separation, or because of adoption of children by a single person. Changing parenting style in India. Changing role of the father in parenting in India. Influence of child gender on parenting style, right? I told you about that. If the girl child be having a different kind of attitude, and if the family have a boy child, they have a different kind of attitude to how the child gets the things in the family. कभी सुना है बच्चे को भी एग्रेशन होता है, एंगर इश्यूज, फियर इश्यूज, ये सब रहते हैं, एंजाइटी रहती है किसी ने भी? एनी वन ऑफ यू हैव दैट दिस काइंड ऑफ एक्सपीरियंस? Children's emotions and friendship. If the parents give proper attention, proper love and care, so definitely child will feel happy, will feel more secure. When the child don't getting proper attention, proper nutrition, proper care, so feel distress. So important role of caregiver. Anger and aggression. Anger is a response to a situation which the child cannot handle. Something in their anger, children injure themselves. Aggression may be defined as a behavior with the apparent intent of injuring some person or object. Children show aggression by hitting others, banging and throwing things, screaming and kicking. And the reason for anger and aggression during toddlerhood, one of the reasons for anger and aggression in this age group is inability or toddler to get what they want as the following. When the child feels unsure of the parent's love, she may become aggressive. You may have seen that the birth of sibling often arouses jealousy in the older child. With the another baby in the house, the older child feels threat to the mother's affection towards her. She expressed this jealousy through aggressive behavior. Anger and aggression can also result when the routine are badly upset or when the child faces large and noisy crowds. The crowd and the noisy at a railway station or a marriage gathering can confuse some children. Others may thrive on the high level of noise and excitement. In this aspect, as in every other children vary widely. Fear and anxiety. The newborn is startled by a loud noise or a sudden movement. Later, the infant show fear of stranger and fear of being separated from the mother. As a toddler experience the environment and understand even, she learned that there are more things to fear. Doorbell. As someone pulls her away from the path of a cycle, she senses the adult's fear and becomes wary. Thunder, lightning, and the dark are frightening for same. Children, particularly if the adult around them convey this fear, a child may have had an unpleasant encounter with a dog and is therefore fearful of all dogs. All children experience fear as an emotion. A certain degree of fear is necessary since it prevents the child from getting into dangerous situations. When children are afraid, they excess caution. Children overcome some of their fear in the course of growing up. The child who is fearful of dog learns through experience that all dogs are not unfriendly. Right? That fear, if his or her fear is not out in the same period, so that fear attitude or expression converted into the anxiety itself. अगर वो राइट टाइम पे उसका वो एग्रेशन ठीक नहीं होता है या उसको उसका कॉन्सेप्ट क्लियर नहीं है पर्टिकुलर चीज के लिए तो वो अग्रेशन जो है उसका फियर जो है वो एंजाइटी में कन्वर्ट हो सकता है altruism and empathy. Please students mark this. This term comes in short notes. This term is important, altruism and empathy. Children as young as 2 and 3 years of age also show another type of positive social behavior like altruism may be defined giving or sharing objects, time or good with others with no obvious self gain. Related to the development of altruism is the development of empathy. Sympathy is different and empathy is different. To have empathy means to be able to respond to another person's emotion by feeling a similar emotion. This is possible only when the child is able to view the situation from other person's perspective. Thus, being able to see another person's view and to respond to her emotions is related to the development of cognition. Though usually toddlers find it difficult to do so, as they are at time able to understand how the other person is feeling and respond to her appropriately on seeing another child or adult said. Sometimes toddlers hug or kiss the person and try to place it by her by giving her their toy. While responding to the emotion of their distressed person, they try to help the person by offering what they themselves would find most comforting in a such situation, rather than doing what the person would want to be done. Encouraging altruism and empathy. There are differences among toddlers in the amount of concern they show for others, but by and large, toddlers show altruistic behavior at least occasionally. The behavior of the family members influence how the toddler behaves. When the parent's behavior towards other is not compassionate and thoughtful, children will not have the opportunity to learn to value such behavior. Children will do what they observe. It is no good telling them to be helpful when we ourselves do not show helpful behavior. राइट अगर हम बच्चे के सामने अपनी मेड्स को या सर्वेंट्स को या एक्स वाई जेड पेरेंट्स वन पेरेंट दूसरे पेरेंट को हेल्प नहीं कर रहा है तो हम बच्चों को नहीं सिखा सकते कि नहीं आपको शेयर करना चाहिए दूसरों की मदद करनी चाहिए क्योंकि इन दिस सिचुएशन इन toddlers learning through just imitating their parents or they are just learning through observation, right? It has been found that one way of encouraging empathy and helpfulness in the toddler is to explain the consequence of action. But toddlers do not understand elaborate explanation and neither do they have the patience to listen to them. As this age a brief reason, for example, hitting hurts, Didi is enough. Most of us tell children what not to do, but research has shown that explaining to them why they should not to do certain things by focusing on the feeling of people as has been done in the above example increase the chance of the child behaving in a helpful manner, right? To discuss this, friendship, why friendships are important. अभी हमने डिस्कस किया फ्रेंडशिप वाला बात. Change in children's play and friendship. As children grow older, there is a change in the nature of their play in keeping with their growing social and cognitive abilities. See how the nature of play changes cognitively. Till about 2 years of age, children's play activities most sensory motor, such as running, stacking objects, rattling beads, pushing things, throwing a ball, and so forth. Once children are able to think symbolically, they engage in make believe play. This, occurs around 2 years of age. These pretend games increase in complexity. It is not as if in the preschool years sensory motor play does not occur at all. It does, but in combination with other kinds. The nature of play also change from social point of view. Toddlers generally play alone because playing games with rules require greater cognitive ability and social skills. Children are not able to play these till later. Preschooler can participate in simple group games, but participation in games with more abstract rules is seen in the middle childhood years. Right, your social concept is clear, social development is clear. As we already told you, we will take a 1 hour class today. Is this clear to everyone or any doubt in social development?
No, ma'am.
Happy Holi, students. Thank you for joining our session today. It's a festival time. If you have any query regarding assignment or anything, we will discuss. Otherwise, I just leave the session.